Your enemies don't always come from outside. The sharpest blade aimed at you is hidden in your own mouth. Right now, someone is sitting in a room, replaying the very words you once spoke. That joke you made without thinking it has become evidence. That secret you shared and trusted has turned into leverage. That single moment of weakness has been carved into their path to victory. You thought your words would vanish into the air. You believed people would forget. You assumed conversations were safe. But that is the most dangerous delusion of modern life. History has proven it. Empires have collapsed because of loose tongues. Leaders have been destroyed by their own speeches. Friendships have bled to death because trust was broken by careless words. The ancient masters knew something we have forgotten. Your mouth can be your deadliest enemy. It reveals your secrets, exposes your weakness, and gives your enemies the very tools they need to bring you down. Machiavelli spent his life dissecting power, and his discovery was brutal and clear. Those who master their words master their destiny. Those who don't become victims of their own voice. And so, let me take you into the shadows of 10 psychological traps, everyday moments where your mouth can betray you. Each of them has the power to turn your tongue into your executioner. They happen to everyone, but only the wise recognize them before it is too late. Anger is not simply an emotion. It is a truth serum. When fury grips your heart, it acts like a powerful solvent, dissolving the barriers you've carefully constructed to keep your deepest truths hidden. In an instant, your brain shuts down its security system, and your mouth becomes a confessional. Every grievance you've silently endured, every wound you've kept buried, every unsaid thought you've kept locked away, they all come rushing out like poison, spilling from your lips with no filter to hold them back. In those moments, the person who triggered your anger isn't your enemy. They are your interrogator. They've just unlocked the fastest way to expose who you really are. They are no longer fighting with you. They're probing, extracting, digging into the heart of your soul, and you're giving them everything they need. While you're absorbed in the heat of the moment, feeling justified and powerful, they are quietly collecting intelligence, learning about your true nature. What makes anger so dangerous is that it makes you predictable. In that instant, you're not a mystery anymore. They now know your limits, what sets you off, and how to provoke you into revealing more. They've learned how to push your buttons, how to trigger your fury in the future. Once someone understands what makes you explode, they hold power over you. They can control you, not with force, but by triggering your rage whenever they need you to lose control, say something damaging, or destroy your own credibility. And here's the scariest part. Your anger doesn't just reveal your truths to the person in front of you. It reveals everything to whoever is listening. If your words are not carefully considered, your moment of rage becomes their permanent record. The emotions you release in that instant of fury will be recorded, not just in the minds of those around you, but in the stories they tell. That short burst of anger will turn into a permanent mark on your character, your words immortalized, your actions cemented. Machiavelli, the master of understanding power, once said, "He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command." True command starts with self-mastery. If you cannot control your own mouth when anger rises, how can you control anything else that truly matters in your life? Every time you lose your temper, you not only lose control over the situation, but you give away your power to the one who remains calm. Anger is not a mark of strength. It is, in fact, the weakest form of expression. It masquerades as power, but in reality, it's nothing more than vulnerability, dressed up as strength. The powerful feel anger, but they never show it. The most effective individuals process their fury privately, and they respond to conflict strategically. They know that today's emotional outburst becomes tomorrow's ammunition for those who want to use it against them. The people who master their emotions, who can control their anger, are the ones who win in the long run. They understand that an emotional eruption today could cost them everything tomorrow. So, what does this mean for you? It means that when you feel the surge of anger rising in your chest, you must stop. You must take a breath. You must recognize that this is a moment of vulnerability, not power. Your words in this moment can either build your empire or bring it crashing down. The choice is yours. What makes this especially dangerous in today's world is that in a society where everything is recorded and remembered, your emotional outburst can be turned into evidence. With social media, with cameras everywhere, and with people who have mastered the art of capturing everything on tape, your rage can be spread far beyond the room. A moment of weakness becomes a permanent mark against your reputation. Remember, the person who can stay calm, who can remain composed while everyone else is losing their cool, that person wins. The powerful people you admire didn't get there by showing their anger. They got there by controlling it, by learning to process their emotions privately, and by using that control to their advantage. They understand that an emotional explosion can destroy years of careful work. This is the hard truth. If you can't control your anger, you can't control your life. You can't control your future. Your mouth is your most dangerous weapon. If you let anger guide it, it becomes your executioner. If you choose silence, if you choose strategy over emotion, you win the game of life. Success intoxicates worse than wine. When you're winning, ego demands recognition. You crave applause. You ache to explain how clever you've been. But this craving for validation destroys more winners than failure ever could. Every explanation of your success is a step-by-step guide for your competitors. Every detail of your strategy is a blueprint for your replacement. The hunger for credit transforms mysterious winners into transparent losers. Your competitors aren't impressed by your brilliance. They're reverse engineering it. They aren't celebrating your achievements. They're studying them. Machiavelli warned, a wise ruler ought never to keep faith, when by doing so it would be against his interests. Telling your story may feel like loyalty to those who supported you, but it's treason against your future. True masters celebrate silently and speak only when silence would cause more damage than revelation. Alcohol doesn't create new thoughts. It dissolves the barriers that keep dangerous ones hidden. Every drink lowers your defenses. Every glass turns you into an open book for anyone sober enough to listen. The most valuable secrets are not extracted through torture. They're poured out through wine. Affairs confessed. Business strategies revealed. Fears admitted. Plans exposed. What takes years to uncover can be discovered in one drunken evening. Manipulators know this well. They create comfort, pour endless drinks, ask innocent questions, and collect priceless intelligence. They remember everything. You remember nothing. Your intoxicated words can destroy you when sober. That casual revelation about your relationship may resurface in divorce court. That admission about financial struggle may become ammunition for rivals. Machiavelli said, a prince ought not to mind the reproach of cruelty. Be cruel to your own impulses when the drink flows. Choose clarity over connection when stakes matter. Pressure is not just an external force. It is a mirror that reveals the true nature of your character. And in most cases, that reflection is not as flattering as we hope. When stress mounts, when deadlines loom like storms on the horizon, when expectations grow like a tightening noose, it's easy to lose sight of who you really are. The mask of civility, of professionalism, slips, and what remains beneath it is often ugly, vulnerable, and ready to be exploited. What pressure does to us is not just stressful, it is revealing. You think you can handle the pressure, but when it arrives, you find that you don't. Under pressure, your carefully constructed image begins to crack. The calm exterior, the composure you've worked so hard to maintain, crumbles. The inner fragility that you've tried so hard to conceal emerges, and you become a raw version of yourself, one that others can see, manipulate, and use to their advantage. In these moments, you become incredibly easy to exploit. The very people you confide in, those who are closest to you, often become the ones who notice your weakness. You might tell a family member about your work struggles, a friend about your relationship issues, or a colleague about your professional insecurities. You think you're seeking solace, but in reality, you're handing them the keys to your downfall. You're providing them with ammunition, with targeting information, with insight into your vulnerabilities that can be used against you later. What you believe is a moment of authenticity, a raw, honest admission of your flaws and struggles becomes the perfect opportunity for others to observe, analyze, and weaponize your weaknesses. They don't see your stress as a shared human experience. They see it as an opening, a gap in your armor that they can exploit. The very thing you hoped would alleviate your pressure only adds to it, making you a sitting duck for anyone who wants to take advantage. The most dangerous confessions aren't the ones made in the heat of an argument or in the face of injustice. They come from the vulnerability that pressure creates. You might share your struggles out of a desire for support or understanding, but what you're actually doing is providing others with the keys to unlock your downfall. And in the world of power and influence, the people who hear your confessions aren't there to offer comfort, they're there to gather intelligence. In a world that moves at breakneck speed, the stress of juggling multiple obligations, the pressure to succeed, and the weight of expectations, it is incredibly easy to snap under the weight of it all. But this is where wisdom comes, in understanding that how you react under pressure is what defines you. When the heat rises, the way you respond to it reveals everything about your character. Do you crumble, expose your vulnerabilities, and reveal your flaws? Or do you remain calm, composed, and strategic, even when the storm rages? Machiavelli once said, "It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both." But this does not mean living in a state of constant fear. It means mastering yourself, controlling your responses, and ensuring that under stress, you remain unshakable. The truly powerful individuals, the ones who navigate the world with grace, are those who understand that their reactions to pressure are just as important as their actions. They understand that when you break under pressure, it's not just about the stress itself, it's about how others will perceive you in the aftermath. When you crumble, when you give in to your emotions, you lose the respect of others. They no longer see you as someone who can handle difficult situations. They see you as weak. They no longer trust you to make sound decisions because they've witnessed your breakdown, and now they know you're susceptible. They've learned that when things get tough, you will falter. And in this world, weakness is never tolerated for long. But when you respond with poise, when you weather the storm and show that pressure only sharpens your resolve, you inspire admiration, respect, and even fear. People may not like you, but they will respect you. They will understand that when the stakes are high, you don't crack under pressure, you rise. You handle it, you overcome it, and you emerge stronger on the other side. The real test of character is not how you act when things are easy and comfortable. It's how you respond when the heat is turned up, when the pressure is on, and when everything seems to be crumbling around you. How you react in these moments will define not just your career, but your life. You can either give in to the weight of the world, or you can use that pressure to refine yourself, to turn stress into strength, and to come out of it stronger and more resilient than before. Pressure is not the enemy. Your response to pressure is. Master it, and pressure becomes a tool in your arsenal. Use it to refine your character, sharpen your mind, and outlast your competitors. Because in the end, it is those who can remain unshaken under pressure who achieve greatness. They understand that pressure doesn't break them, it molds them into the person they are meant to be. In the world of power and manipulation, the most dangerous individuals are not those who attack directly. No, the true masters of manipulation are the ones who wear masks of vulnerability. They understand that weakness can be the most powerful tool in their arsenal. By showing a carefully crafted, polished version of suffering, they create an illusion of fragility. You look at them, and you feel the urge to help. You feel the desire to protect them. In that moment, you think they need you, that they are desperate for your support. But in reality, their vulnerability is a trap. It's not a genuine cry for help, but a calculated move to exploit your empathy, to twist your compassion into a weapon that serves only their needs, while you are busy trying to offer assistance, to be the hero. They are silently extracting valuable information from you, your secrets, your strategies, your weaknesses. They become the perfect thieves, not stealing from your pockets, but stealing from your heart, your mind, and your soul. They make you feel like their savior. They wrap you in a cocoon of emotional intimacy, making you believe that you're the one person who understands them. This creates a psychological band, a sense of duty to them, a sense that you are the only one who can help them escape their torment. The more they reveal their vulnerabilities, the more you are drawn in, thinking that you're doing the right thing, that you're showing compassion. But the trap is this: with every secret you share, every vulnerability you reveal in an attempt to connect, you are feeding them the ammunition they need to turn the tables on you. You're handing them the keys to your most guarded doors, your innermost fears, your private desires, and your deepest regrets. What you believe is an act of kindness, helping someone in need, becomes a dark exchange. where your very empathy is used against you. Professional manipulators know how to make you feel like the only person who can save them. They tell you just enough of their story to reel you in, to make you feel like you're walking a journey with them. They know how to make you think you're the one who's in control, that you're the one offering help. But in reality, they are orchestrating everything. Every word they say, every tear they shed, is carefully timed, strategically placed to get what they want. And the most insidious part is that you won't even know when it's happening. You'll be so deep in the emotional narrative they've spun that it will feel natural to open up, to share your own secrets, to reveal your weaknesses in return for their supposed trust. But all you're really doing is giving them the power to control you. You become the puppet, and they hold the strings. Machiavelli once said, "Men are so simple of mind and so much dominated by their immediate needs that a deceitful person will always find plenty who are ready to be deceived." Your immediate need to help them, to feel needed and appreciated, blinds you to the fact that you are being manipulated. The person who tells the perfect sob story, who paints themselves as the victim, is often the most dangerous predator in the room. Their vulnerability is their weapon, and your compassion is the bait they use to reel you in. But this isn't real vulnerability. Real vulnerability is messy, it's raw, it's painful and unpredictable. What these manipulators are showing you is a curated, polished version of vulnerability. Vulnerability that's crafted for your benefit, designed to make you feel indispensable. The real manipulation lies not in what they say, but in what they withhold. They give you just enough to make you feel like you're in their confidence, but they leave out the parts that could expose their true intentions. Your compassion becomes their competitive advantage. Every secret you share to help them becomes intelligence they will use against you. Every weakness you reveal, in solidarity or support, becomes ammunition for their future attacks. What starts as an innocent desire to help becomes the foundation for future betrayal. Machiavelli warned, "The deceiver will always find plenty who are ready to be deceived." Your need to feel like a good person, to feel like a compassionate friend, can blind you to the reality of what's happening. While you're focused on being helpful, they are focused on using you. They exploit your empathy, turning it into a weakness that serves their goals. True strength doesn't require the revelation of your vulnerabilities. It doesn't require exposing your secrets in the name of connection. Real strength supports without revealing, helps without making others feel like they owe you something in return. It's the kind of strength that stands firm, that remains unshaken even when others try to push your emotional buttons. Master this balance, or you will find yourself prey to those who have already mastered you. Real strength is not about how much you give away, but about how much you keep to yourself. It is knowing when to offer support and when to protect your secrets. It's understanding that not everyone who asks for help has good intentions. Every social group, every workplace, every community operates on one crucial currency: information. In this complex network of exchanges, the value of a secret can far exceed its weight in gold. Every confidence shared, every whispered opinion, every broken trusted, all has value. And in the marketplace of human interactions, those who control the flow of information hold the most power. The problem is, many people don't realize that by speaking freely, by participating in what seems like innocent conversations, they are not just bonding, they are trading intelligence. When you participate in gossip, it may feel harmless, like casual conversation or a way to pass the time. But in reality, you are engaging in a covert transaction. You're handing over your own pieces of information, your vulnerabilities, your weaknesses, your thoughts. Everything you say is a trade, and it is buying something for someone else. Those who collect information without revealing any of their own are accumulating an empire. They are building their own silent power while you are unknowingly depleting yours. Gossip is a subtle game, one that most people don't even realize they're playing. The rules are simple, yet brutal. Information flows upward to power. Secrets shared by those in lower positions find their way to those who are in charge, while betrayal flows downward, carried by those looking to make others weak, those looking to gather intelligence on the vulnerable. What you don't realize is that the information you freely give away, the secrets you share in moments of trust, becomes currency for others to use against you. The moment you break a confidence, when you share a secret, you lose your place in the power structure. You stop being a trusted individual, and instead, you become a source of vulnerability for anyone watching. Gossip isn't just a means of sharing information. It's a tool for dissecting people. Every word you speak, every confidence you break, shows others who they can trust and who they can manipulate. The dangerous part of gossip isn't just what it says about the people you're talking about. It's what it reveals about you. Every secret you share chips away at your own credibility. Every time you break someone's trust, you advertise to the world that you are not someone who can be relied upon with sensitive information. The more you gossip, the more your reputation as a trustworthy person erodes, and you don't even realize it until it's too late. Machiavelli once said, "The way men live is so far removed from the way they ought to live that anyone who abandons what is for what should be pursues his downfall rather than his preservation." What he's warning against here is the false belief that gossip is a harmless bonding experience. It is not. What you think is socializing is actually a dangerous game where your words are being traded like commodities. Your trust is being bought and sold. Those who collect secrets without giving any away are the ones who hold the true power. They're the ones who are in control of the situation, while you, if you're not careful, become the product being traded. You see, when you reveal someone else's secrets, when you break someone's confidence, you not only damage them, you damage yourself. You prove to others that you can't be trusted. You become a pawn in a much bigger game. This is the reason why information brokers, people who seem to be deeply invested in everyone else's lives, are often the most dangerous players in any community. They make you feel like a confidant, like someone who can trust them with your deepest thoughts. But the truth is, they're not collecting your secrets because they care. They're collecting them because they're using them. The more you give away, the more you reveal about yourself, the more they can use that to manipulate you and those around you. The most dangerous aspect of gossip isn't just what it does to the people being talked about, it's what it reveals about you. Every time you talk about someone else behind their back, every time you share an intimate detail or break a confidence, you destroy your own reputation. You make it clear that you are not someone who can be trusted. Every secret you spill is another nail in the coffin of your credibility. But those who play the game of silence, those who withhold their own information, who listen carefully but speak little, they hold all the cards. The best collectors are the ones who never reveal their hand, who never share their secrets, who maintain an air of mystery. They understand that information is power, and they are constantly collecting it, but never at the expense of their own reputation. You see, gossip isn't about simply sharing information, it's about controlling it. The people who control information, the ones who can withhold etar, the ones who wield the true power. They listen, they observe, they collect. They let others speak, they let others share, but they never give anything away. They hold the power because they know the value of silence. Machiavelli said, "Anyone who abandons what is for what should be pursues his downfall rather than his preservation." If you're constantly giving away your thoughts, your secrets, and your weaknesses in the name of connection, you are walking down the path of destruction. If you want to master the information economy, you must become a collector, not a distributor. You must learn to listen more than you speak, to observe more than you reveal, and to never give away anything that could be used against you. Remember, your words are not just casual exchanges. They are pieces of currency in the marketplace of power. And if you want to be in control, you must learn how to navigate that marketplace without losing yourself in the process. When power challenges you, instinct pushes you to defend yourself, to prove your worth, to cry for justice. But authority doesn't want your explanations, it wants your composure. Most challenges are tests disguised as conflicts. Fail the test by responding emotionally, and you confirm their judgment of you. The fairness you seek doesn't exist in power games. Respect is earned through results, not arguments. Every word of defense becomes evidence of incompetence. Machiavelli said, "Politics have no relation to morals. Outrage doesn't matter. Results do." When betrayal shatters a bond, the temptation is to strike back with secrets, but revenge through revelation is suicide. Every relationship is a mutual exchange of vulnerabilities. Use theirs, and they may use yours. Worse, everyone watching learns you cannot be trusted with confidences. Your revenge harms your reputation more than your enemy, Machiavelli advised. Severity should be dealt out all at once. Benefits, drop by drop. Silence preserves your future leverage. Revelation destroys it. When you feel insecure, your mouth tries to compensate, name-dropping, over-explaining, interrupting. But the harder you perform confidence, the clearer your insecurity becomes. Real power doesn't advertise. True expertise doesn't need explanations. Insecurity makes you predictable, and predictability makes you manipulable. Machiavelli warned, never was anything great achieved without danger. The danger isn't looking weak, it's proving weakness through performance. Under pressure, people make promises they can't keep. Words become debts. Every unfulfilled promise destroys credibility. Each broken commitment proves your word is worthless. Promises cost nothing in the moment, but the interest is devastating later. Machiavelli said, "He who builds on the people builds on the mud." Promises are mud. They crumble under weight. Masters of power under promise and over-deliver. Your mouth has been your betrayer all along. Every conversation, a potential minefield. Every interaction, a chessboard where words are either weapons or shields. These 10 traps aren't rare, they're daily. The difference between victims and victors lies in one truth. Words have consequences. Silence has power. Machiavelli understood what most never do. Life's game is not won by those who speak the most. It is won by those who master their minds before they open their mouths. Every word you utter will either build your empire or supply weapons to destroy it. The decision is yours. Will you let your tongue sabotage your destiny? Or will you learn the art of strategic silence? Remember, in a world where everyone shouts, true power whispers. If this story opened your eyes, subscribe now for more insights into the dark psychology of power and manipulation. Your future self will thank you for mastering your words before it is too late.